invest, there are three kind of ways you invest. There is portfolio, which is like stocks and bonds and so on. And what a stock is you owning a tiny piece of a company. That's all it is. So when you buy Facebook stocks, another bad example again, or I can't even say, well, Tesla, another bad example, right? When you own stocks, you own a piece of the company. So if the company is worth like $100 million, let's just say, and you pay $1,000, you bought like $1,000 in stocks, you own like 1% or 10% of 1% of the company. Oh no, forget that. The company is 100,000. You bought $1,000 in stocks. You own 1% of the company. You get that?
Yeah.
Right. If the company does some really awesome investments, right? And then 5 years later, the company is now worth $10 million. You still own 1%. So now your 1% is no longer 1,000. Your 1% is now 100,000. Did you watch that? Did you all see that? Yeah, don't get tied up with the numbers. All I'm saying is when you invest in stocks, when the company grows, your investment grows right along with it. So somebody who invested in let's say, Microsoft 20 years ago, you just put $1,000, you know? Today, that $1,000 would have been worth $500,000. Isn't that crazy? You do nothing with it. Just put $1,000 there. You never even check on the stocks. You don't get crazy when the economy go high, when it goes slow, when the president tweaks and the stocks stumble. That don't bother you because you're in for the long haul, right? Yeah. You wake up one day and like, whoa. And listen, overall, stocks always outperform a lot of other investments overall, but not in the short term, but in long term. Okay, I'm done with stocks. So that's an idea. Just want to educate you a little bit. Then of course there's real estate, right? That's why we have Miss Pinnacle in the house, and she's going to walk you through how to become an investor. I mean, look, a house in Miami. Let's say I could get a house for $250,000, right? Miss Pinnacle, you need 20% down as an investor. Is that correct, or 25? 20%. Miss Pinnacle, I don't like your delayed response. I need you to speak with more gusto, confidence. 20% down means that you would need how much is that? $50,000, right? So let's say you somehow you had $50,000. Buy the house for $250,000. It means your mortgage is $200,000, and your payments is about $1,700 a month, but the property is renting for $2,500. After insurance and everything like that, you have $500 every month coming to you. And then 3 years later, the property sells, like what happened to me. Living in California, I bought this little condo. I scrambled, save up the money like crazy. I would go to seminars. I'd sell my books, $10 a book, you know. And you know, a couple of $100 every seminar, but I just took that money, I put it aside, I never touched it, you know. After a year and a half, whoa, $15,000, where did that come from? All those little $10 sales, you know, a little really goes a long way. That's the power of having a vision. Let me tell you something. Let me see how to explain this. We usually are defeated by the tiny numbers. When you take out a credit card and you max it out, you see, wait, I'm only paying $20 a month? Woo, that's nice. Not realizing that, especially back in the day, $18 was interest. You know, back in the days. Now they've changed it, right? But what I'm saying is, but you don't feel it. You don't know over 10 years, and so you would have already paid that credit card $20,000 just in interest. You didn't know that because the small numbers deceived you. But you can use small numbers to bless you when you realize that if you put away a little bit at a time, over a period of boom, whoa, where did that come from? Yeah. The little tiny bit. So $15,000, right? So I took this money, my little $10 book money, right? And I paid down on this condo. Struggle, that's my condo. I'm living in the condo. And like about 4 years ago, right? I was thinking, I bought it for $115,000. So 4 years ago, I said, you know what? I'm going to call and see. I was making $50 a month on the condo. I mean, still money, right? I was thinking, man, I need to sell this condo. And I was thinking, I could make about 30,000. Man, 4 years ago, the most money I ever made is probably like 10,000. 30,000, I didn't even know what to do with myself. Just thinking, I could make 30,000. Wow! Big money. One dancehall singer, he said, stacks of money, bucks of money, tracks of money. That's a lot of money. 30,000. I'm thinking I could sell it for 150,000. You know? So I called my realtor, property manager. I said, hey, I was thinking about selling that condo. I said, how much you think I could get for it? So they did something called comps. It's where they compare the prices that other properties in the area sold for in the last like 6 months. Is that correct, Miss Pinnacle? Yeah, that's comps, right? Yeah. And she said, well, Dex, there's a condo in your building that is not as nice as yours. It sold for 230,000. I couldn't sleep for weeks. For weeks. What? 100,000 in profits? Whoa. You know, that's what real estate could do for you. That's what it could do for you. I scraped up, it's my $10 book sales. Bought that. You see what happened? Yeah. So then there's portfolio, which is like the stocks, your bonds, your mutual funds. Then there's